Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Joaquim Alberto Chissano and to request you to confer on him the degree Doctor of Philosophy honoris causa. The decision by Council and Senate to award him this degree has been taken on the grounds of the following considerations. Joaquim Alberto Chissano, born in Gaza province in 1939, was the first black student to attend the only high school in Mozambique, a Portuguese colony at the time. While studying medicine in Portugal, he sought refuge in France because of his political affiliations. In 1962, he became a founding member of Frelimo, the Mozambique Liberation Front. He played a fundamental role in the negotiations that led to Mozambique's independence in 1975, was Minister of Foreign Affairs after independence, and in 1986 succeeded President Samora Machel, who died in a plane crash. Chissano's constructive socio-economic reforms culminated in the 1990 constitution that led Mozambique to a multi-party system and an open market. He negotiated successfully with former rebels to end the destabilizing civil war in 1992, and in 1994 he won his country's first multi-party elections, was re-elected in 1999, but voluntarily declined to stand in the 2004 presidential elections. Being devoted to the restoration of peace and stability and to the reduction of poverty, he played an important role in Mozambique being among the countries whose 22 billion British pound of debt was written off in 2005. Under his stewardship, economic growth of around 8% a year was achieved. During 1979 to 2003, almost 3 million Mozambicans of a population of about 20 million were rescued from extreme poverty. The number of children dying under the age of 5 decreased significantly, and primary school attendance increased to 65%. As a respected elder statesman, he has chaired the Southern African Development Community, the SADC, and the African Union, and served as a United Nations Special Envoy for Guinea-Bissau, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Uganda, and Madagascar. He chairs the Joaquim Chissano Foundation for Peace, Social and Economic Development and Culture, and the Africa Forum of former African heads of state and government. He is the patron, as you have heard, of the Security Institute for Governance and Leadership for Africa, SIGLA, at Stellenbosch, and he serves on the boards of the Peace Parks Foundation, Club of Madrid, Hunger Project, and International Crisis Group. President Chissano is a Goodwill Ambassador for the Portuguese-spoken countries community and Global Partnership Initiative Youth Ambassador, as well as a member of the Advisors Council of the World Food Prize Foundation, the High-Level Task Force for Climate Services, and at the World Meteorology Organization, and the Advisory Panel for Global Development at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. He has received the highest awards from many countries and institutions, including the prestigious Mo Ibrahim Prize for his role in leading Mozambique from conflict to peace and democracy. So, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I hereby request that you confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy honoris causa on Joaquim Alberto Chissano as respected statesman who played a major role in Mozambique's independence from colonial rule, and in his country's socio-economic growth and political reforms, and for his continuing role as a peace broker in Africa.
Joaquim Alberto Chissano, I confer on you the degree Doctor of Philosophy, honoris causa. Congratulations.
His Excellency President Chissano, His Excellency the High Commissioner of Mozambique to South Africa, the Rector, and the honorable members to this dinner. I'm quite much honored to be toasting to a man of the stature of President Chissano. I happen to be a Pan-Africanist who by accident of being born happens to carry a South African passport. Now I always see the view of point in my thinking from a Pan-African point of view. So for the sake of being politically correct, I will speak here of perceptions in the event that I don't get accused of being a pessimist about Africa. But often than not, the perception about Africa is not a very good one in many forms. And when people think about Africa, they are often persuaded to think the negatives about Africa. This is a perception. It's not coming from me. I'm not sure it's coming from what we have observed in the past. But however, when we look at the caliber of leaders that we have in the continent, many of times than not, we don't see to get a very good picture, or the perception doesn't paint them in a good picture. And President Chissano is kind of a rare to find caliber of a leader. I've worked close with President Chissano and have observed the extreme humility in the stature of the man that he is, given the experience of working with other former heads of states or other people who are quite much important. But mostly, I think one of the significant things that I want to talk to is the issue that you left office when you could have continued to be in office. We don't see that quite often. We have an example close home and in our neighboring countries. But this is one of the significant things that I think is quite very remarkable about President Chissano. And secondly, you mentioned in your speech, toward the end of your speech, that you were sharing about the practice of your experiences within mediation. And I was sitting and listening, and I was thinking to myself, we are academics at the Security of Institute for Governance and Leadership in Africa, SIGLA. You are the patron there. We want to theorize about all of these issues and the nexus of security and economic development in Africa. And I think our theorizing will be close to reality if we walk hand in hand with practitioners. And I think for this reason, it really prouds us as an academic institution to have a close relationship with the practitioners of your caliber, somebody who has occupied the highest office in a country, who can be able and who is willing, more than anything else, to share his experiences with us as we are in the path of theorizing. My first background is science, and in science we say theory, what is true in theory must be true in practice. I've transformed to become a political scientist. Hopefully I will not become a politician. But in political science, I always found that what is said in theory is not necessarily what happens in practice. And this is kind of the thing that we want to look at as we hold you hand in hand and as we learn from you. We are so proud as the institution to be working with the person of your caliber, and we are looking at a greater partnership with the whole of the Africa Forum in advancing the mission and the vision that we have as a Pan-African Institute. Ladies and gentlemen, in Portuguese, when we toast, the Portuguese say, ao saúde do President. So I would like us to stand up and hold our glasses, and we say, Senor President. Senor. Mucho obrigado.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues who today received the same honor as me, I would like to congratulate you and congratulate also all the students who graduated today from all levels. And I would like to reiterate my thanks for being invited to be here today in this dinner. I must confess that it's very difficult for someone who took so much of your time and your patience reading papers to start now making a speech here, which of course I'm not required to make a speech, but it's just to respond to a toast of that provocative girl. She is the one, Ndudane, who dragged me to come to Stellenbosch. I would have not known Stellenbosch if I had not known her. And she said, well, it was easy that in Stellenbosch I would have no work because there are people here who are very much knowledgeable. So I thought that I'm coming here. I accepted to come because I knew that I'm coming to learn. And so I will learn. And I'm happy that all of you are receiving me with open hearts. I will not promise much, but as the rector there was speaking about knowledge and African knowledge, so I said, well, what is it he's trying to dig out? Maybe in talking in days like this, we will finally discover what that may mean and how useful is it to go about it. But I must say that my feeling is that really in Africa we have a lot of knowledge, but it's a dispersed knowledge. We have to find a way of bringing it together. The same as our wealth. We have a lot of wealth, and one of the wealth is our people who have got knowledge. And we have to go there and learn from them. Of course, we will not do anything theoretical, but I think we can find ways of converting into theory all this practical knowledge. I was telling the director there that in Portuguese we have a word for that. O saber, le savoir, for those who know English, French. Savoir and connaissance, c'est différent. It's a bit different. So I think that I will be able to bring a bit of my savoir to Stellenbosch, and as I did a bit this afternoon, was not exhaustive, could not be exhaustive, so I brought my knowledge in that sense of savoir. And I challenged you to convert it into knowledge, which means scientific knowledge. Not to speak too much, I would like to say that here in Stellenbosch, I'm not only associated with the university now. actually came to Stellenbosch through the man who was mentioned here by the rector, Juan Rupert, because I'm sitting in his board of PPF, Peace Park Foundation. And he told me how he was close to the university. And so I had hoped to see him here. And so we have this link between Mozambique and South Africa through Stellenbosch. We are doing a lot of work, and I'm glad to see Meiber there, the CEO of PPF, Peace Park Foundation. We are linked with the game parks, and we are looking at all this environment. But now we are trying to get another connection through this search of knowledge which will bring our countries to live better, and to have to do away with the pessimism of some about the leadership in Africa. We have to, in the way we are sitting here, I think that we are going to create good leadership. You heard my speech that I'm very proud of this university, because it means for me a change, a quick change. You know that in the past few years, it would be rare. I was looking at how many black, how many coloreds were passing there, receiving the highest classification, cum laude, graduate, and said, well, if this is happening in Stellenbosch. Actually, I was much more impressed here than when I was graduated in ISA. I saw that the balance was not so. So I'm very much encouraged from what I saw today, and I would like to congratulate Stellenbosch. I think that is the efforts of all. People are saying things there outside. They say, well, these whites don't want to come together with it. But here, you are doing the convergence. You are building a new Africa. Yeah, and even I discovered Mozambicans there being graduated in Stellenbosch. So I thank you very much, and I thank you for saying so many good things about me, but please don't exaggerate. Don't exaggerate. I did this because maybe I had to act that way. I will not tell the long story about what was happening there, but you know, I said in my speech, lost 1 million people, so I had to, something maybe make me great, but it's not me. It's other people who did it. And today, I'm humbled once again for this attention you are giving to me. Thank you very much.